Hey everybody, we've got another Generals replay, a 2v2. Let's look at the team, shall we? On Team 1, we've got Skippy, who's going to be GLA Vanilla, and then we have Pcap, who will be China Infantry. On Team 2, we have Rob and Pancake. Pancake will be the US Air Force General, and Rob will be the GLA Toxin General. Rob's getting started here with the Supply Center and Barracks, and looks like he's going for a secondary barracks, which is a little more aggressive than Rob has typically done. Skippy going with the supply stash right off the bat. He's built 3 workers so far. A quick tip for being able to get your dozers and workers started. You can press the hotkey for dozers and workers while the game is still loading, and you're getting a look at the initial teams. And for China and USA, that hotkey is C, or is D for dozer, and on the GLA side, it's K for worker. Pcap over here with getting started with 2 supply trucks and an airfield already. He's got looks like a dozer that's over here and starting to build a supply center as well by the auxiliary resources. Skippy is getting the barracks going on the north side of his base, and Pancake is going with he's got an airfield built already and 2 Chinooks going. Usually the optimum resource gatherers for USA Supply Center is going to be 2 Chinooks. For China, it's going to be 3 supply trucks per supply center. Looks like PCAP's a little bit probably managing his resources here. He's got 1250. He's got to get those extra trucks in there, but he's also focusing on getting some buildings built. Skippy over here, a little bit of a plethora of workers. He's got 3, 6, 9, 10 workers going, so he's got a good number of workers, which will reduce the supply stash a little bit faster than normal, at the cost of some extra resources. Each of those workers is about $200, so he just spent an extra $800 or $900 in order to be able to get some extra resources in the future. Pancake going with some extra defenses at the south side of his base. There's going to be 3 land entries into each of the major bases here for the 4 teams, and Pancake's going with 1 main defense, and he'll get started with a second probably here in a moment. Rob has got, looks like he's got 3 barracks now, and he built a defense between him and Pancake. Poor placement there. Probably couldn't see the map yet and know his location, but
I'm totally disoriented for where the line of scrimmage is supposed to be.
And it looks like that barracks is also a little bit far forward if he were going up against Pancake, but he's not. So, but he has got 3 barracks now and multiple infantry that are moving down towards Skippy's base, and Skippy also has a number of RPG infantry that are on their way, and it looks like Robert has started to garrison the buildings, and he was just able to beat Skippy to the area, and Rob being the Toxin General, he's able to spew out poison, which is going to be pretty effective at taking over the infantry in the area. And it looks like Rob has also gotten a technical into the south side of Skippy's base. Let's see where that's headed. Looks like he's doing some scouting, and he has found Skippy's supply center. So he's coming in here and decides to run over a bunch of the workers. Immediately able to put a dent in some of Skippy's resource gathering. Skippy's only got 450. Oh, and Rob had 3 terrorists that were stuck in that technical, which almost, but doesn't quite take out the supply stash. He probably would have needed one more terrorist in order to be able to completely take out the building itself, and would have needed a 5th terrorist in order to take out the whole. Skippy has also built a barracks between him and Pcap, and looks like he's got a man that's over by the hospital, so it should be able to capture that building as soon as he's got the upgrade. Pcap using his airfield to create a helix, and it looks like he is making his way across the map towards Rob's base. We'll see what that does. Rob has got starting to build a toxin network tunnel in the bottom left of the base, and he's got some toxin troops over there to help guard. But Pcap is going to be coming over here with his helix, and we'll see how the RPG troopers are able to do it. And it looks like he's got a combination of both tank hunters and his minigun, and he's just able to bypass the tunnel network, takes out those 2 tank hunters, or 2 RPG troops, and now he's coming into the backside of the base. Rob's got a quad cannon, but that's immediately taken out by the missile defenders, and Rob also loses his radar van, and now Rob's got no air force to be able to counteract, or anti-air to be able to counteract this helix. Pcap also being the infantry general, he's I think he's got some minigunners inside of there for taking out men pretty quickly.
Let's see what that would have looked like from the player view.
I make the sacrifice.
A warrior has fallen.
Oh, I got a helix coming into my base.
I am finished with the building. I am finished with the building.
Where?
I make the
Top
sacrifice.
left of the map.
Don't get on my bad side.
I'm bringing in some quad cannons and building some tanks.
I'll get there.
I see it.
Clip their wings.
A warrior has fallen.
I got it. I'm gonna take it out.
Scorpion tank.
Here comes my King Raptor.
I will do this.
Be on watch for the enemy. The tunnels will protect us.
Rob built another quad cannon, which would have been probably easily decimated by Pcap's tank hunters inside that helix, but Pancake saved Robert with the air defenses. Pcap has taken over a number of the buildings in between him and Pancake, and pushing forward with his line of base defenses. Oh, and Pcap is now pushing forward with a Black Lotus. He's going to be going forward towards Pancake's base with that Black Lotus, and we'll have to see what kind of damage she's able to do. She's able to steal $1,000 at a pop, but her most damaging ability is to be able to steal buildings and to steal them extremely quickly. When Pcap is the infantry general, the Black Lotus has got improved capture times of roughly, I think it's 5 seconds in order to be able to completely capture a building. Looks like Pcap is over there trying to see if he can reach the oil derrick, but doesn't appear to have the range capability of being able to do that. And Robert is using some troops in the bottom left of Skippy's base. Skippy has got his 2 toxin trucks that are spewing a wide area poison area. Robert is having none of that.
Let's see what he has to say.
How you doing there, Nate?
I am very weak at the moment. Very weak.
To defeat them. Our land must be preserved.
Paul could
We
easily
will not be
thrash me.
Ready yourselves.
Marauder tank assembled.
I managed to get GLA hole in the bottom left corner of the map, and while Skippy is unknowingly, he doesn't know that I've got it, but
Okay, over there.
I got it. I don't know if I can hide this thing.
That Black Lotus looks like it's actually going to be avoiding Pancake, and he's heading over to Robert's base. Robert is sending his troops over now back to that original supply center that he had attacked earlier in the game, and we'll see if he's able to finish off this supply stash this time. The Toxin Trooper should be able to take out the workers pretty quickly. Skippy again with only $500. And Robert's also bringing in a number of quads and other troopers from that tunnel network that's in the bottom left of the base. Combination of troopers, RPG troops, quad cannons, and scorpion tanks are going to finish off that supply stash, as well as the GLA hole. And here comes the Black Lotus into Pancake's base.
Get ready to sting.
I took out a supply depot of Skippies. I don't think Skippy knows that I'm in his base. Oh, there he comes.
It looks like Robert is starting to try and go after Skippy's command center now. Skippy is not sending any troops. There he comes. He's sending his Scorpion tanks to try and defend himself now. But we've got a number of technicals over there, multiple technicals taken out, and the Marauder tank is trying to do some damage on the Scorpion tanks. Robert's going to barely keep the Scorpion, the Marauder tank. He's going to push that forward and get some scraps. And Pcap is continuing to push in further with the Black Lotus. And Robert's able to finish off the rest of the command center there. And here comes Pcap with the Black Lotus, and he's going after the airfield. 3 seconds. It is very fast with the Black Lotus. Pcap sending those aircraft immediately to start going after supply centers. And Pcap is also using the Black Lotus, and he takes out the strategy center. Pancake has hit a drone for being able to view where the Black Lotus is located.
Oh, he's in your base. Or he's sending stealth stuff into you. Alright.
Yeah.
I need to get some quad cannons over to you.
Don't push
Oh,
me.
and
He's
super
still.
low.
A warrior has fallen.
God, that's so annoying. I hate him and his stupid Super Lotus. It is the most annoying thing ever.
Pancake's trying to bring his Rangers to view the Black Lotus and to attack her. And Robert's also bringing a couple of quad cannons and Scorpion tanks in to try and go after that Black Lotus. Robert's got a small force that's still in Skippy's base. Not a ton left of Skippy's. Skippy's has got $2,000, a hospital, a barracks, and a worker in Pcap's base. Robert does have his units now in Pcap's base, or in Pancake's base, trying to find that Black Lotus. Pcap is selling all of the structures that he built. Pcap is sending over. He's going to be going after the barracks now.
That Black Lotus is driving me crazy.
Oh, okay, I will.
Can you get it?
Yeah, I'm trying to send in some stuff.
What? Don't get on my bad side.
Where's the... Do you have a general idea of what part of your base it's at? I got a radar van.
Radar
coming.
service.
It's-
Alright, I got it. I see it.
Yes, yes.
4.5 seconds.
Going. I do not have patience for this. I do not have patience for this. What? I do not have patience for this. Yes, yes. I'll get there. Huh? I do not have patience for this.
God,
Quick, ready yourself.
that was annoying.
they are.
Robert's going to send guys over, see if he can find that Black Lotus. Pancake dropping another drone in order to be able to find her. And Robert finishes her off. Robert's still got some units going after Skippy's, looks like Skippy's final barracks. See if there's any other buildings that Skippy's got. That should be it. What else does he have? Oh, Skippy is rebuilding a supply center. Skippy still only has $400. And Robert's going after the Stinger site that's over there. His Toxin Troopers taking out the Stinger Defenders that are inside the middle there. And Pcap is now coming in with 3 different assault troopers. Each of those are loaded with 8 minigunners, and they're going to see the stealth drone that's over there. And let's see how they do against the 2-and-2 defenses. He's going to avoid those 2 Patriot missiles. If any of these assault troop crawlers are destroyed, the infantry that are inside should lose about half their health. So if he can avoid that, he'd rather eject the men on his own terms. There's that EMP. And see if he can get off that. Oh, there he is. And so there's the infantry. They are going to start healing themselves now with the nationalism upgrade that the infantry automatically get with the general's powers. And he's going to take those roughly 24 troops and focus fire on the Patriot, and should be able to take that out easily. Looks like Pcap has also got 3 MiGs that are out there guarding, while Robert has brought his final tanks back and is starting to go after the buildings that Skippy has tried to rebuild. That is a double scrapped heroic Marauder, and it is going to be able to take 3 MiGs worth of missiles and still keep on ticking. Robert really needs to kill that supply center. But Robert is focused up at the top with the minigunners that are in the area, trying to avoid getting killed, and loses all of his forces in the process. Does have a tunnel network up there for being able to bring in more troops to help out Pancake, but Pancake is losing troops fast. He's losing dozers. Pancake is bringing in his airfield, trying to go after them, and Robert is going to try and run them over with his tanks, as well as the quad cannons. And that's it for Pcap's first incursion. And Robert was able to take out the supply stash that was there above there. And looks like Skippy has one last barracks that's there in the area.
I don't know where Skippy is. I can't find him yet.
Robert's just got to find it. Robert also starting to bring in some troops into Pancake's base, keeping them there for defenses. Pcap bring in a squadron of MiGs trying to go after the last forces that are in Skippy's base, guarding the area.
Alright, Skippy ain't all that big.
Yes, I go. The
No,
way
I
is
just
clear.
can't find where his,
Freedom
like,
fighters, attack!
all of his buildings are.
Is he stealth?
I don't think so. He's just vanilla GLA. There he is. He's gone.
Take
Alright,
us
so
to
I
glory.
can focus now on helping you
That
out.
stronghold will protect us.
Alright. Yeah, I was just... we kept Paul at bay there for a second. That was good.
And that's it. Robert's tank took out the last barracks, and Skippy is defeated. So now it's just Rob and Pancake versus Pcap. Looks like Pcap has got a total of 4 trucks that are starting to grab resources. So he had 2 per supply center. He also has a lot of infantry that he's starting to build guarding his base. All those minigunners are pretty deadly against any of the aircraft that the Air Force General is going to send, and pretty annoying to try and pick those off one at a time. Hard to do splash damage with jet missiles. So now that Skippy is gone, Robert is going to be bringing in his forces to focus exclusively on helping out Pancake against Pcap. Looks like Pcap has brought another Super Lotus in. She keeps on getting seen by a combination of drones and Pancake's satellite imagery. But no nearby forces for taking her out. Let's look at resources. Rob's got 300. Pancake has got 500, so not too high on the resources there. Rob's got one supply center with 2 workers, second supply center with a exhausted area, and that is it for resource collection. Oh, there, Robert's got a black market. Pancake has got 4 supply drops. And then Pcap looks like he's got a full internet center. Each of those hackers pumping out $6 a minute and starting to build more $6 every 2 seconds. And those usually take a couple minutes to start ranking up, at which point they'll be $8 and then $10. And let's see, yep, there's the Black Lotus. She's taken out 1 supply drop center and given away her location.
So there she is.
4 on the floor.
A warrior has fallen. We have discovered an enemy Black Lotus.
Punch it.
She's stealing your stuff.
Begin stitching.
Rob bring in a quad cannon for trying to find that Black Lotus. We'll see if he gets it before she takes out the supply. Oh, she stopped. She ran in the way, and she's dead. Pancake, getting a good variety of aircraft there. Raptor, stealth jet, as well as Comanche. Each of those have good uses. Raptor's general purpose and can fire on aircraft in the general in the entire map. Stealth bombers are good at being able to take out defenses and to be unseen by everything except for stealth detecting units. And then Comanches are good for staying on target and good against infantry in general. Looks like Pcap's got a carpet bomb that's coming for Robert somewhere. Let's see where he drops it. Betting combination of the arms dealer and the barracks. There's the carpet bomb. There goes the arms dealer, and the barracks is completely destroyed.
Piece by
General,
piece.
our land is being attacked.
A warrior has fallen.
Arms dealer still has the GLA hole, so unless Pcap comes to something else, that arms dealer should be able to heal itself and rebuild back to full health. And then Pancake has finally got the Aurora Bomber. Also excellent at being able to take out defenses. You can't hit it on its way to its target, which is a very overpowered capability, but then turns into half speed and everybody can touch it. And it's only got about 80 health or so per Aurora Bomber, and so very easy to be able to kill when everybody else is pumping out 100 damage a second. Pancake starting to cause damage on Pcap Supply Center. But still have a second supply center that's there. Oh, and Robert's got a tank in the middle of Pcap's base. Not quite sure how that got there. Probably a sneak attack. But that gets taken out by Pcap's Air Force. But it's not looking good for Pcap. The 2 versus 1 is usually a pretty deadly combination. More of a war of attrition.
Here she comes again.
Quad cannon. Stop them dead in their tracks.
Yep. There she is. Nice.
Private.
And Pcap has got setting up his airplanes in the back of his base. Good for being able to, if his airfield gets destroyed, those airplanes won't immediately die. He can send them for one last attack and then send them to continue guarding while he tries to rebuild the airfield. If you keep airplanes moving, even while their airfield is destroyed, they will go from location to location. But as soon as they try and head back to base and realize that they have no airfield, they immediately start losing health and dying. Robert's sending some rebels into the back of Pcap's base. We'll see if he's able to capture the propaganda center with those guys. And here, immediately taken out by the Air Force there.
A warrior has fallen.
This is a lot of work.
Pcap saw what was going on and sent his MiGs with the upgraded napalm bombs and setting up some black napalm on top of those toxin troops, and they're just immediately taken out. But he did remove half the health of his propaganda center, and which will be fixed by his dozer. Let's take a look at resources again. Rob has still only got 115. One black market. Oh, he's got 2 black markets. And starting to build a 3rd. Pancake, 3,000. He's doing a little bit better. He's got his 3 supply, 4, 5, and 6 supply centers. Looks like he's lost all but that stealth jet in doing various attacks. And he's got a couple of Comanches. Pcap coming in with those MiGs trying to hit the area. He's got the napalm bombs going after the defenses, but the Patriot missiles are they've got a good amount of defense and pretty relatively immune to missile attacks. And Pcap sends his carpet bomb again in order to go after one of Rob's black markets. Good to be able to cripple him somewhat, but won't be able to entirely with just the one attack. It looks like those hackers have started to upgrade. They're at 8 and 10, which means they're at elite and heroic status inside that place. The Internet Center allows hackers to gain veterancy about 15% faster than they do just sitting on the ground by themselves. So that's pretty useful for getting them amped up, and it also makes them produce money faster, and thus their veterancy faster.
I'm good. I'm comfortable now. There's no Skippy. It's just us and Pcap.
Yeah.
Just waiting on economy.
Me too.
Pcap has got $300. Starting to build some helixes. And I don't see his supply trucks doing anything else. Not too much for base resources still on the map, so he's essentially relying on it only as hackers. Starting to gather some of his infantry, combination of minigunners and tank hunters. And Rob is, looks like he's had a couple of buildings that he had garrisoned, but that got destroyed, and now he's going to go garrison another. Oh, there's those supply trucks are still operational, still gathering resources from that pile. Pancake lighting up those hackers with satellite imagery. And now Rob has got just a couple of toxin troopers that are in that building going against the infantry. Building's at half health, and he is going to take out a majority of those, but combination with the assault troop crawler was able to take out the rest of that building and defeat the toxin trooper that was in the building. Rob is also diversifying his base. He's got a black market in the bottom left of the base where he had some spare workers. He's got a black market getting built in the very top. He's very spread out right now with all of his different black market locations. He's got his palace. And Pcap coming in with some artillery. Looks like he's going after the defenses there in order to open up a space for his troops to come through. Oh, and Pancake is building a fire base right there in the center, and that's going to get taken out by that artillery. Oh, no, it's not. It went straight for the airport. So the aircraft were killed by the falling artillery barrage, but the extra hit points that the Air Force General's airfield is awarded prevented it from getting taken out. Normally that would destroy a airfield, though. And now we've got Pcap doing a minigunner drop inside Robert's base, and Robert sends a quad cannon, which almost gets taken out, but not quite, and sends in a fresh one in order to complete the takedown of the minigunners. And Pancake has already got, not already, but he's got 3 airports now. One with some stealth jets, one with some Aurora bombers, and that's unfortunate that Dozer is pretty low on health there. That's going to slow it down. As soon as they're super damaged, they usually come down to about half speed, but if you tank that at the War Factory, you'd be able to get his health back up and go back to normal speed. Pcap continuing to amass forces at his northern border, and just a few lone armies that are at the south side of Pancake's base. And Robert has dropped a Taxan army into the supply trucks of Pcap, is able to take those guys out. But it looks like Pcap's bringing in a Helix, and those Toxin Troopers are going to get killed pretty fast by the minigun on the Helix. They can't outrun it, and he's got a longer range, so that's just a matter of time. Pcap continuing to build a nicely diversified set of land forces, anti-air, anti-stealth. Those radar bands are good for being able to detect the stealth of your enemy units that may be hidden, and he is going forward. The assault troop crawlers are also able to detect stealth, but since those sometimes tend to get taken out, the radar trucks are going to provide some extra health. And here we go. It is a matchup now between some Marauder tanks, some Scorpion tanks, some quad cannons. I don't think this looks good for Robert's forces, though. They've only got he's lost all of those immediately to all the different units that were there. Pretty fast, a lot of damage being taken. Fire bases and Patriot missiles are going to cause some splash damage into the area, but that fire base is going to go down pretty quick. See how long it takes for the Patriot missile. You're going after the Dozer.
There's a large Pcap force that's coming up north. Do you have snipers yet?
I do.
Comanches are going to get taken apart as soon as they get targeted by the infantry. But the Comanches, if they're not getting... Oh, there they are. So there's 1 and 2 Comanches. Oh, the second Comanche didn't go down, didn't get targeted. So he's probably got that stealth upgrade on the Comanche, so he's able to stop firing and not get hit by the troops. Now we've got Stealth Fighter bringing in some bunker buster bombs, going after the infantry that are in the area. That airport's going to fall pretty quick as soon as they have some targeted fire. And now Pancake's got 2 snipers. That's going to be deadly. There's a whole bunch of troops that just got dropped, but 2 snipers. No stealth to be able to detect them, which is exactly what the assault troop crawlers as well as the radar vans was meant to do. Those stealth detection units being gone, snipers are able to have their fill.
I'll puncture the next what?
Yeah, Pcap surrendered.
Alright, finally.
We are victorious.
I didn't realize Joe could last that long. I'm surprised.
Well, all of our economies were pretty hobbled.
Oh, mine started picking up there at the end, finally.
Mm-hmm.
And Pcap, seeing the snipers, knows he's going to be defeated eventually, and he surrenders. Let's take a look at the statistics. So, Pcap, having the most amount of units created, undoubtedly, at 121, but also lost the most at 160. But units destroyed. He took on Pancake and Rob at the same time, and so he had 94 and won the number of units destroyed. Buildings constructed goes to Pancake with 35, And buildings destroyed goes to Pcap as well with 7. Resources gathered, most goes to Pancake with 103,000, followed by Pcap at 85, and then Rob brings up the third, and Skippy in last with 20,000, taken out pretty quickly. Overall, Rob and Pancake may have won this battle, but I'd say Pcap put up an excellent fight against the two of them. But 2-on-1 just isn't a fair fight. So congratulations to Rob and Pancake, and we'll catch you on the next one.